So usually we would say the Declaration of Principles, and we say that as the service begins. Every service we start with that. And so my lecture is going to be on that. And so that's why I didn't go through it. And as I usually tell a lot of people, as I funnel things through my life daily, I funnel them through these principles. And these principles, this is kind of our creed, right? And it is fluid because life is fluid. And so if at some point in the future, they have been changed in the past, if at some point in the future we learn something new, then we go back to the National Association and they will change these to suit accordingly, right? So nothing is set in stone, right? One thing I got about the Ten Commandments, everything is so set in stone and nothing changes. To me, that's old. That's the old vibe, right? This is the way it is. This is the way it's always going to be, and it's never going to change. And that never works because everything changes all the time, every moment. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. We could look at the tree as we go by, and we'd be like, "Oh no!" But the tree changed, right? Overnight, it changed moment by moment. We change moment by moment. We don't realize it because we get up and look in the mirror. We might see, "Oh, I got a gray hair today," but we do change, right? And so we go through these, and these are in the front cover of the hymnal. And so the first one says, "We believe in infinite intelligence," right? And I could do a lecture on just that, right? Infinite intelligence. I think I did a lecture on just infinite intelligence, which means everything is included, or infinite intelligence. This is what some people call God, right? Infinite intelligence. But kind of refrain from saying God because people have a certain connotation as to, you say God, I know what that is, right? So I'm going to put it in this box. I know what it is. Let's go on talking, right? So we try not to use that word because we want to be inclusive, right? If you say God, first they're going to say, well, he, right? He is, or he did this. And really, on this infinite intelligence level, there is no male or female. There is no gender, right? If you're talking about God, there's no gender, right? And in talking about infinite intelligence, sometimes I go beyond the term God because they are gods or beings with higher consciousness that were able to create things, right? And so we can call them God, but we are not going to call them infinite intelligence because they came out of infinite intelligence, right? And so, and this infinite intelligence is a big word, which means everything is infinite, goes on, and everything is intelligent. So everything is intelligent, and we're made of this stuff, right? So we are intelligent. We may not think we are, but we are. And we are infinite. We may not think we are. We are. Our soul is infinite, right? As you'll hear more and more as this stuff comes out. So we are infinitely intelligent. And I'm talking about even the chair you're sitting on, right? Because that came out of a tree, which is a living being on a different level, right? Nothing dies. So you're sitting on a tree. You're sitting with the tree. And so if you're in tune, then you could get information from the tree, from the seed, from everything. I mean everything, right? The space between us is intelligent as well, right? So everything has this consciousness, if I want to put it that way. And we can communicate with all of it, right? But we just have to understand we are part of it, right? God isn't over there somewhere and we're here. Infinite intelligence and over there somewhere sitting on a cloud and we're over here, right? We're part of it, right? We're just a branch of it, right? Infinite intelligence said, okay, I want to express myself in every single possible way. Wear it, right? Every single one of us. expressing in as trees or animals. My car has a life, right? Because it didn't just fall out of the air. Something on this planet made it. And if you're including everything, so when you're going down the road, sometimes you say, "Oh, thank you, car, for getting me all this way," right? Gratitude all the time, right? So we just have to start thinking that way. So infinite intelligence, everything is intelligent. That's what we need to start doing. Even the bums on the corner are intelligent. They just are not expressing it right now, right? And until we see that in them, we just have some work to do, right? Because again, we're all together. We're going to put them over there and we're over here. No, it doesn't work that way. We're part of the whole deal, right? All of us. So infinite intelligence, that's the first one. We believe in infinite intelligence. I'm not saying we believe in God, but we want to be inclusive of everything, right? If new neighbors move in from across the water, from across the skies, from wherever, we want to include everything, right? That's how we just start thinking. The next one is, we believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. Right? Everything you look at is just an expression of God or infinite intelligence, or all that is, whatever nomenclature you want to call it. Right? Everything you see is just an expression of it. Right? We affirm that the correct understanding of such expression, living in accordance therewith, constitute true religion. Right? Again, we're going to be inclusive of everything. Right? This is, I'm not here to beat upon religion because we're part of that. And we have some dogma too. We just are not so deep in it. Right? Everybody's stepping in it. It's just how deep are you stepping in it? Right? The deeper you are, the worse you smell. Right? But we all have it. Right? We all have it. Right? It's just that for us, we don't want to exclude anybody. I've had people in here walking in off the street who are drunk, right? And I took them to the side and we had a conversation because everybody's included. Don't matter. You don't have to dress up. I remember when I was going to church, to the Methodist church, we had to dress up. We had our Sunday go to meetings. These things you just wore every Sunday. So you don't have to be that, right? Because the church was closed for a while. But spirit still was happening. Things were still happening, right? We didn't need the church, right? But it's just a place so that we can gather and be in the same like mind. If you say, I hear something, we're not going to tell you, hey, you need to go see a doctor. Get on some meds. You're going to be like, oh, that may be your family from back in the day. Or your friend that passed away that's trying to reach out to you, right? And that's why we have a gathering. So somebody said yesterday at the ferry, they have a women's gathering and it's a safe place. I was like, safe place sounds good, and it's like, but just female only, it didn't hit me in a different way, but it's like, oh, that's not inclusive. But I question safe place. And they just saying, well, safe place just means any woman from any religion, they have all different kinds, can come in and say anything. And we're going to be like, okay, cool, I'll take that into consideration. Right? So that's what we are here, right? So to me, this constitutes true religion. We're living it. Like, usually my lectures, right? I have something that happened during the week, and I have to look at it spiritually, and that's my lecture, right? Because everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual, right? And until we see that, then, again, we have work to do, right? I listen to rap songs. After a while, I was like, should I or shouldn't I? But then it's like, I start listening to some of the lyrics, and some of the lyrics are spiritual, but they just say certain things so we can get your attention. And then we can say certain things. And so I had to look at that spiritually, right? Because everything is spiritual. We have to look at it that way. I had an incident at my at the job, whereas I used to want to be the supervisor so bad, like for 3 years, I tried and tried, got rejected, got rejected, got rejected. And then finally I said, okay, if you don't want me in that position, that's fine. That's what I said. I was mad for, say, a month. And then I went back to being me. You have to work. You have to play 8 hours. Fast forward 2.5 years. All the supervisors are gone. Every single one of them. And their bosses are gone. Right? And I'm still here. So it's like, ugh. I had to go back and look at like, oh, so Spirit was saying, that's not for you. Wait your turn. Right? So everything I have to go back and look at it in a spiritual way. Right? What can I learn from that? Right? Spirit, because so Spirit got me. Sometimes I'm not as a believer as I should be. Because if I was really a believer back then, I'd be like, okay, Spirit is saying this isn't for me. Right? And so I went back and I looked at it spiritually. Everything I go back and look at spiritually. I had an accident up here on airport years back, right? And I was mad and I wanted to get rid of my car. You know, little red car. I always used to get pulled over because it was a cheap car, just had some rims and stuff. I always get pulled over. I want to get rid of this car. I want to get rid of this car. And I had an accident right up here. It was rainy. I remember the day. And somebody ran into me, scrunch in the back. I ran to the one in front of me, scrunch in the front. I was in the box. And then at that moment, I said, okay, I get it. I'll take the lessons, but I don't want the drama, right? So I had to go back spiritually and what is this? What am I getting from this? And then once I started doing that with lots of things, I realized, okay, Spirit has had me the whole time. I just was ignoring the knocks, right? And then after a while, the knocks will get louder until, bam, you get an accident. Right? Because I kept ignoring the little knocks. Right? Like, hey, go left, go left. Right? Like, don't leave yet, don't leave yet. Right? So we have to start looking at all these things as spiritual. So that means that's your religion. Your spiritualism or your spiritual values or your spiritual life, the way you look at it. That's your religion. And you live it every day. And it's not just Sunday. Right? That's the problem I got with the other ones. It's like, okay, today is Sunday. We're going to dress up nice. We're going to do all these good things, sing all these good songs, put all this money in and love everybody. And then for the rest of the week, we going to hell and do a bunch of stuff because we know that next Sunday, I'm going to say I'm going to repent. I'm going to be okay. Right? And for us in spiritualism, no, it doesn't work the way. It's an everyday thing. It's an every moment thing. So you're going to live your religion that way. Right? So that's true religion. Right? Religion, I have a book that I'm going to now. It's called Spirituality Before Religion. Because religion came in and taught us some things that were not correct. Right? And this was after, the natives used to do spiritual things. And we came in and be like, yo, that's why, here's what we're doing. Now we're going back to those things. Sweat lodges, hugging trees, praying over your food. If you have to take the life, you pray over it. You use every single bit of it. You give reverence. Right? That's fine too. Right? So we want to live our religion. Right? We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. Let me go really slow. That's my Caribbean voice coming in. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. That's what we do in this Spiritualist church. Our job is to remind you that there is life after death, or there is no death. There's life after life, right? So if the medium comes up and says, hey, I want to give you a message, is it okay? And you say yes. Then they'll get in a space and they'll bring you information from your past friends or family. Sometimes I get messages from teachers, for people, right? So we're just proving that life continues, right? Because we want to get you to this spot in you that is everlasting, or your soul, right? You're going to shed the meat body. I forgot what they call it. The meat suit. You're going to shed the meat suit, but your soul will carry on. And the experience you have will carry on. That's why it's good to have these good experiences, and you feel good, and that's what goes on. That's what they're going to, when they come to a medium, that's how you're going to recognize them. Oh, that's my uncle. He used to laugh like that. He used to tell jokes, or he was funny, or man, he was stern. He ran our house like the military, right? So those are the things that go on, right? Those are the memories, and those are stored in a bank. We can call it the Akash or the Akashic record, or whatever you want to call it. Everything you do is stored, right? Everything you do everywhere is stored. So if you can connect to all of the yous, then you can go on a different track, grab some information, and bring it back to you right now to use right now, right? The more you do that, the more it becomes normal. Like now you'll see the little kids who can play like they were old, and I've seen some of the kids play, and it's fine to play, right? But if you've played a long time, you get all these head movements and you know, and they're doing that at 3 or 4 years. So they're tapping into a part of them that's there all the time, right? I know in the church we don't deal with reincarnation, but I think once we redefine reincarnation as multiple synchronous lives, then we're not reincarnating, we're just hopping from life to life. We're going and getting information, bringing it back to this one, or going to sleep and going to this one, and we have a dream or nightmare or whatever we call it. We're just going, so we're just bouncing around. So, right? So there's something that happens after, right? That's the lesson. So if you knew that you were going to live 700 years, you would think different. Right? You would think different. But for us now, we're thinking 70 years, 75 years, oh, okay, right? But if you thought, well, I have time to do this naturally and be good at it, we would think different. That's how we have to start thinking, right? Because we are living that long. We're infinite, right? So that's what this ascension is, just a little tweaking our perspective. That's all that is. So, but this is for the Spiritualist Association. Our duty is to prove to you that the continuity of life is how we put it. Continues, right? It continues. So, and then the next one says, we affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomenon of spiritualism. That's what we do. That's what some people come here just to get a reading, right? So because they want confirmation. You know, like, my dad is okay. Usually in the messages, that's the first thing. Well, is he okay? You know, is my mom okay? You know, yeah, everybody is okay. Because really, there is no heaven and there's no hell, right? It's all right here. And if you think about heaven, then you're going to have good thoughts is what's going to happen. And if you think about hell, you're going to have not so good thoughts. All that's happening right here. Not going over there or you know, there. So there's no hell. There's no purgatory, you know. There's experience you have once you get out of the body that you have to recognize, okay, I don't have a body. Wait, I'm here, I'm there, I'm there. Those things happen, and then you have what that review is like. You did this to this person, and so now you have to sit kind of and feel that this is how that person felt when you did that. And then you have to recognize that when I did that to that person did something to that person, and that person did something to that person, and the ripples. And you have to feel all that because you created that. And so that's how you do the review, and then you balance it out and then you go on and, jump around and do that. But life goes on, right? And so again, that's our thing as a spiritualist church. We're proving that. We're proving that life goes on, right? For us, there's no doubt about it, right? None at all. So, and I was talking to some readers yesterday, and it's like, I don't do a lot of readings anymore because most people that want to read in, they don't really need a reading, they need education. This is how the world works. This is how reality works, right? I'll get to it in a minute. What goes around comes around. That's what's happening to you. You keep thinking of something over and over and over. Guess what? That's happening for you and only you, right? Whatever you look at and you call it nasty, then nasty things happen to you, not to what you're looking at, because you're creating it. Nothing that happens to you is not of your design. Not one thing, because that's how we create it. We keep thinking about it over and over. That's why Abraham's like, if you have to think of something and it's either good or bad, why not think good? Right? We get up in the morning like, damn, it's a bad day. I get up in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm alive, right? I can breathe. I said this last lecture. Let me shake it. Okay, right? I'm expecting good things, right? And if something happens that's not so good, again, it's temporary. It's not like some people think, man, I woke up, I bumped my toe, I dropped my coffee. I'm going to have a bad day. The whole day. That's their thought. Okay, man, I dropped the coffee. The wife dropped the coffee the other day. She just went, okay, maybe I didn't need that coffee. Let me just go on. And so that thought, that energy ends there. Right? You didn't carry it through the whole day and you got to review it later. Right? So the spiritual, that's what we do. And the sixth one is, we believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Like, I can do a lecture on just that one right there. Right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Right? Gratitude will fix that. Always. Always. Gratitude. Gratitude for what we call not so good things. And if I was really grateful, I would be grateful for not getting that supervisor job. Right? But I wouldn't think it that way. Right? I go back. So now everything that happens, I'm grateful for it. There's a lesson in there for me some way. Every single thing. For me, this is how I look at it. What are you trying to tell me? Right? Everything. If the TV pops, Yvonne and I will be having conversations, the TV pops. Spirit is talking to us and answering us. Right? It happened this morning. Did we look at it as something spiritual? Wanda walked in the door. Peter said, I don't know if Wanda's coming. Spirit is talking to us all the time. We just don't connect it. We just don't connect it. We're like, oh, yes. All the time, Spirit is talking to us all the time. Like, God never stopped talking to us. We just stopped listening. Right? Or we lost the ability to communicate directly with Source because of things that happened in the past, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Right. Again, gratitude clears that up all the time. You're looking out the window and you see a homeless person, right? It's like, I pray for them. Because you don't know their journey, right? How they got there. You don't know what lessons they need to learn, be in that position, right? We wish them well, right? You don't have to give them money. And if you should give them money, you don't hope that they don't use it for drugs. If you're going to give. And don't worry about it. That's better for you as giving. You give, you're going to receive. If you give with those conditions, you're going to receive with the same conditions, right? And so that is the way you're going to have to do. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's, what goes around comes around. Abraham teaches this thing. And this is like natural law, if we go by that. This is natural law, right? This is law like, not like right turn on red, right? We do that here in Texas. You can get to the stop. If nothing is coming, you turn on red, right? If you do that in New York, guess what? You're going to get hit because there's no right turn on red. That's a man-made law. That's not a natural law, right? And natural law is going to work everywhere. Again, everywhere you go, everywhere you can think of, natural law will work. What goes around comes around. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's natural law. And so, if you go to the moon, natural law works. Wherever you go, natural law will work. And those are the things that we preach about, that we talk about, natural law, right? Some of the things we think is magic, that's just natural law. We just don't know about it. You know, like electromagnetic forces and things, that's how people move things, right? That's how they built the pyramids. That was natural law. That wasn't some magic or something. That was like, I'm going to take this energy, this sound, and I'm going to point it at that rock, and it will lessen the gravitational pull, and I can pick it up with a finger. That's natural law. That's not magic, right? But we just need to learn natural. There's so many of them. I got a whole book of them. You know, the law of gender. We all have both, right? So why are you down on somebody who's different? Because maybe you were that on another train, on another track. Why do you do that? So I don't hate anybody because maybe I was that, you know. Or if I hate somebody, what it is about me, you know, maybe in another life, another track, that something happened to me, and it's a holdover, right? So all these natural laws, the law of reversibility. If we can change water into steam, we can change steam into water, right? If we do something to somebody, we can balance that out in a different way, right? So all these are just natural laws. We just don't know about them, right? But once you know all these things, then there's no magic, right? It's just natural law. And if you know it, then you can kind of heal people, right? Or we can temporarily help them. Because I had another conversation with, I forgot her name yesterday, you know, we can heal anybody, right? They can heal themselves. I can help you. I can give you a jump. I can tell you how I did it for me, and you can figure out how you can do it for you, right? And I had this conversation with Roberta Grimes. You know, it's like, did Jesus heal people? You know, and then, so if he did, yes. And so what happened when they weren't around him, and went back to doing the same things they were doing? Talking about the neighbors, yelling at the animals, treating people a certain way. Did they stay healed? And I would doubt that they would stay healed, because as I'm doing things to people in a negative way, I'm beating up on my healing. I'm taking stuff out of the bank of my healing. As I'm doing good for people, I'm depositing bank into my healing bank, right? So doing to others, you would have them doing to you. That's what that one is about. Again, we reaffirm the moral responsibility of individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. That's we make our own happiness. That's the difference between us and some of the other groups, right? They want you to go there, and we'll do it for you, and we'll tell you everything to do. And for us in the spiritualist movement, we're going to tell you, we're going to help you get to where you need to go. But we can't do it for you, right? I can walk next to you, but I can't walk for you, right? People will be like, I'll do this. You cannot. They cannot. They're just feeding you something because they want something from you. Like, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Everybody wants something from you. Whether it's, oh, you look nice today, or everybody wants something. I'm just saying, right? Some people live, oh, you know, then I feel better. Oh, I feel good. No, I feel good, right? If you tell me I feel good, thank you, but I already feel good, right? You know, sometimes it's hard to be like, you know, put it this way. If I take you telling me you're lovely, you're great, I have to also take when you tell me you're a fool, you're crazy. I have to take all that then, right? But if I know where I am and I know my spot, I know I'm already all that, then thank you. But I don't need it, but thank you anyway, right? Sometimes I don't have to, I just say thank you, because in my head I know I'm good, but thank you. Because when you're telling me that, you're telling yourself that. That's making you feel good, so cool with me, right? That's how you're going to make your own happiness, our own happiness. As you look at people, those are your mirrors, right? If you always see the homeless people, that's your mirror, right? You're creating that, right? But if you see them on their way to greatness, you don't know, in 2 weeks, maybe they'll get a boost, maybe they'll recover, maybe they'll be the preacher that saves 100 people, or maybe they'll get back to that doctor that they've been wanting to do for 5 years and couldn't. You don't know that. Wish them well. And in wishing them well, you're wishing yourself well. That's the only reason you're doing that. What goes around comes around, right? You're making your happiness. Again, nothing happens to you. Everything happens through you. I offer my vibration. Source says, I'm going to match that. I'm creating it, right? So if you want to know how your life is, look around, right? Because you're creating that. And once you realize you're creating it, then you realize, you know what, I can create something different too. If I don't like what's happening, I can create something because it's up to me, right? All right, so you make your happiness or your unhappiness. We affirm that a direct affirmation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. You can start as an older person and start a new beginning, right? This isn't just for certain people. Anybody, anywhere, you can start right now. At 80, I'm 66. At 80, you can start over and be as good as somebody who just started doing stuff, right? But it's just how we think. If I don't see somebody do it, then I'm thinking nobody can do it, right? But usually when you say nobody can do it and you're looking, 1,000 people over there doing it, right? So it's just the way you're looking at it. It's never closed. You can work your way to wherever. And we affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Right? So, and then mediumship, I am doing a podcast on that. Mediumship, sometimes we think only this person can be a medium, right? Everybody is a medium already. You just don't know. You got it covered up with all the layers like the onion. Everybody's a medium. We just don't call it that. I'm gonna talk about Michael Jordan is a medium. He don't even know it. All he says is, I'm in the zone. I can make any shot from anywhere. I don't care who's looking on me. He's in the zone. That's his mediumistic ability. And we all just got to figure out what is ours. Mine is doing a bunch of studying and be able to spill out this stuff to you with the help of my friends and all that. Everybody has their own talent. You just got to find out what that is. And in all my classes are just, let's just peel away the stuff that they taught us in class, in church, or parents didn't know, so they told us certain things. Classes are just about unpeeling those things, and then like, oh, shoot, I already was what I was looking for. Right? It was always there. So that's all we're doing. We're helping you to find this thing inside that is continuous forever, and then you're on your own way, right? All right, cool. I will leave that with you today. Again, be kind to yourself, and then it's easier to be kind to people, right? That's the start. Gratitude. I'm happy for whatever is happening. Right? Whether I think it's negative or not, it may work out later. I'm just going to bet, hey, it's going to work out later. If I have to choose one or the other, bad or negative or positive, I'm going to choose positive for right now. It takes the same amount of energy, right? I'm just going to do the positive one. And it works out that way. And after a while, you don't have to. It's second nature. That you see goodness in people no matter what's going on. Okay? And I'll leave that with you guys today. All right. Thank you, my friends who are online.